scientists said we have a 50-50% chance that we're in a simulation and we don't know about it. Did you hear what Elon Musk said?
No.
Yeah, he said it's either we're already in a simulation or we're on our way to there. And if you really bag it, it kind of makes sense. Because look, the world's only getting worse.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah.
The world's only getting more shittier.
Actually is.
Whether it be like climate change and shit, disease, whatever's happening, the world's gonna be chaos. Fam, we're gonna want to escape this shit.
Oh, that's facts.
Put on the VR or like machine, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
The simulation.
Like, so everything's like, what do you mean by that? Like, everything's like...
No, not even like everything's good, because the simulation may not be good. Because let's say this is a simulation right now.
Yeah.
Shit, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're struggling so hard.
Yeah.
What if this is the simulation? What if like you know what I mean?
Conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. The last one will blow your mind. Number 1, wrestling is scripted. It may disappoint some fans, but professional wrestling is not real competition. Matches are planned in advance, and outcomes are decided beforehand for entertainment. Number 2, CIA black sites. The U.S. government admitted to running secret prisons overseas where terrorism suspects were held and interrogated outside normal legal systems. Number 3, MK Ultra mind control. The CIA ran a real program experimenting with mind control techniques, using drugs and psychological methods on subjects, often without consent. Number 4, alcohol poisoning during Prohibition. To discourage drinking, industrial alcohol was deliberately poisoned, which led to many deaths when people still consumed it. Number 5, the 1919 World Series. This scandal involved players from the Chicago White Sox who were accused of intentionally losing games in exchange for money. It shocked the sports world and became one of the most infamous cases of match fixing. Number 6, military false flag proposals. Declassified documents showed that U.S. military leaders once suggested staging attacks to justify military action.
Here's what happened, Art. In 1954, President Eisenhower met with the Greys to abduct a very small number of persons that in exchange for advanced technology from the aliens, and we would be periodically given a list of those persons abducted. We got something less than the technology we bargained for and found that the abductions exceeded by 1,000,000-fold what we had naively agreed to. And when we first became aware of this, we protested to the little gray being that we held in the captivity at the YY-2 facility at Los Alamos. We found out that the Greys are cybernetic organisms, glorified robots, if you will, who work here at the behest of their employers, monitoring us through abductions.
More and more people are now saying that the CIA codes that were released are actually a real thing. And I was like, CIA codes like weapons or something? They're like, no. CIA codes related to the human body and how just knowing these sequences can change your body. How can a sequence of numbers affect your body? And how she described it, the woman who was like, this is a complete joke, and then tried it and said her pain is gone. She focused on the area where she was having the pain while she was having it, and then repeated this sequence of numbers, 55515, over and over again, kind of turning it into like a mantra, would say it out loud. It worked. I dug into this because everything fascinates me. There is a pain relief code, the 55515. There is a peace code. There is an unexpected money code. We're talking a sequence of numbers for income. And wait for it, they also have them for weight loss and reality shift. Who knew? And apparently the romance code is another one that people say they swear by. You don't have to just walk around chanting these numbers to yourself so that you sound crazy to everyone. You can just visualize this sequence of numbers, focus on what it is these numbers are supposed to be doing for you. We are also saying write these numbers down. You can write them on your body. Show them to water before you drink the water. Apparently being related to that study where they took water and like drew a picture of like an animal or something, then took the picture away and then stuck the water in like a freezer, and whenever they took the water out and ran it under a microscope, there was a picture of that animal, proving that water had memory. If it works, it works.
In this universe, we process time linearly forward, but outside of our space-time, from what would be a fourth dimensional perspective, time wouldn't exist. And from that vantage, could we attain it? We see our space space-time would look flattened. See, everything outside our dimension, that's eternity. Eternity looking down on us. Now to us, this is fear. But to them, this is earth.
Money's actually energy. The reason they made money is because the level of exchange, you can't have billionaires at that point. So when you're talking about, hey, I'll give you this bag of salt for this cow. That's how it used to be. But how do you become a billionaire off of that? You can't unless you're conquering. That's a whole different story though. But they made money, the illusion of it, to be multimillionaires and billionaires and then get you with banking, fractionalized banking, car loans and house loans, and none of that shit is real. The word money itself is from a Greek goddess, Motia. And then Motia is actually the Greek goddess, which her temple was the mint. And also her temple was called Capitoline Hill, like Capitol Hill. So you have all these, lawmakers and the mint and all that stuff all in DC. That's where it's from. So we're living under Greek and Roman law. And then that's where we get the words. If you look into words, salary, the word salary comes from salt. It was a form of currency.
I don't know. This shit makes me want to go back and watch National Treasure and shit. Cause now I'm thinking about dollars after you said that shit and the weird shit that's on the back of a dollar.
Yeah. E pluribus unum is on the back of the dollar.
What does that mean?
E pluribus unum means from one comes many. And then Norris Ordo Seclorum is order of the new ages.
Why is any of that on our money?
You just answered your own question.
Because what the fuck is happening?
So if you look at the US dollar, you guys, this is how they get you. Novus Ordo Seclorum, order of the new ages. And if you look at the 13 leaves, the 13 arrows, 13 stars, in God we trust. I mean, which God are we talking about?
That was my next sentence.
Because God doesn't need money, right? And it's a Federal Reserve note.
So it's not money.
So it's not money. It's an IOU. That's what it is. It doesn't mean, hey, this is good for whatever it's actually worth. It means it's good for whatever I say it is because it's an IOU and I get you back later. People don't understand. We use this every day as energy because we use it for exchange. And people don't understand what this really means, what it's really used for, and how they use this to their benefit.
You know how weird this shit looks?
It looks very weird, doesn't it? And why is it called currency? What else has a current?
Water.
Which is energy. So if you're talking about currency being liquid, a bank where you deposit your currency, like a river bank.
I was going to say that.
So we're talking about the words of water, the law of water. Now, why would they use that? Well, that's because there's more water on the earth than there is land. Maritime Admiralty law.
The hypnagogia method Edison and Tesla both used to get everything they wanted. Edison did it with a steel ball. Tesla did it in a dark room. Both called it their most powerful tool. Neither called it manifestation. They called it the threshold. Here's what hypnagogia actually is. The state between waking and sleep. 4 to 7 hertz. Theta border. Your conscious mind is offline. Your subconscious is wide open. No resistance, no filtering, no doubt blocking the signal. Edison would sit in a chair holding a steel ball. The moment he drifted into hypnagogia, the ball would drop. The sound would wake him. He captured whatever came through in those seconds. Every single time. Step 1. Sit upright in a chair. Hold something in your hand. Step 2. Close your eyes. Don't try to sleep. Step 3. Let your mind drift. Don't force anything. Step 4. The moment you feel yourself falling, you're in hypnagogia. Stay there as long as possible. Step 5. Immediately write down whatever came through. Images, words, feelings, all of it. Days 1 to 3, the images feel random. Days 4 to 7, patterns begin emerging. Days 8 to 14, answers start arriving before you even ask the questions. Why does this work? Edison and Tesla weren't manifesting. They were accessing the frequency where solutions already exist. Every answer you've been looking for is already there. You just needed to learn how to cross the threshold. Follow if you refuse to be average.
People who have been following my work for a long time know that I'm all about the pineal gland. In this gland, there is floating water, a reservoir of water, with crystals that actually have piezoelectric properties. So there again, we have the opportunity for signals to be found, for the crystal itself to vibrate, and then there's also another thing called piezoluminescence. If you have a little lighter and you hit the lighter and then you get that little spark that comes out, that's from a crystal being compressed. And as the crystal is compressed, it releases photons. In your brain, you have these little floating crystals that actually have that quality. And even better than that is there is another characteristic called piezochromatism. Piezochromatic crystals are crystals that can release any color of light in the rainbow as they are being vibrated. So you could have full spectrum light. If you ever needed to create full spectrum video projection on the quantum level, you would need piezochromatic crystals to do it.
Are we really supposed to sit here and believe this nigga just offed himself?
They're as serious as a heart attack. And if it wasn't for these universal laws, they would have taken me out.
I think they would have.
They've tried and tried and tried. I have been given death threats directly from the Rothschilds 3 different times. They have actually had somebody that they could talk to.
Straw parties.
It's from them, through this person, to me, 3 times. Direct death threats from the Rothschilds. Shut up or we're going to take you out. And I'm still doing it.
You're still doing it.
Because what they really try to do is they try to lure you in with a honey trap that gets you to authorize your own death. That's how it works.
But you need to be careful, and let me tell you why. We are being plagued with naturopathic doctors being murdered. That's happening all around the country, all around the planet these days. We have had biochemists killed. Stephen Quayle and I have talked about that for years.
It's all in your mind. The problem with you is you still think you're real. You think you're wearing those clothes? You think you're crap? I did it.
Your goals gotta sound a little fucking crazy so you can figure out how to do it. Mm-hmm. Just think about it, man. If motherfuckers like, man, I'm trying to make some money while I'm asleep. Nigga, the first motherfucker who said that, they was like, hey, bro, you can't make no money if you not at work. Bullshit. You got to be there, dumbass nigga. Hey, one nigga like he right. You got to clock in, dumbass nigga. What? I'm telling you, man, the motherfucker who came up with that, they thought this nigga was crazy. Until he did it. Everything sounds stupid until it works. I just don't like how people play so far into the safety net, though. Like, in order to make a change in your life, you gotta take a chance at some point. You can't just coast through this shit. I know even if you in a fucked up situation right now where you making just enough, you're gonna have to find a way to take $50, $100, and take a chance on it.
And do something.
You get what I'm saying?
You gotta do something different than what you're doing right now. If you're doing a routine, that ain't working.
Right.
It ain't working. You gotta do something that's different.
Even if you working 5 days a week, bro, and you like, I just don't got time. You gotta get up early Saturday then. If you work 5 days a week, bro, you get that one day off. You can't lay around on that one day.
The other day is an execution, trying to figure it out.
You gotta take them 6 hours of daylight that you got.
Take advantage.
And figure that out. You gotta get up. You gotta make something happen, because ain't nobody gonna come help you.
Ain't nothing stopping you either.
And then the cold part, though, man, if people see you trying, they actually will help you, though. When people start seeing you be consistent, like, all right, this nigga ain't giving up. Right. Another thing, bro, when somebody do help you, the way that you pay somebody back, it ain't just always about, hey, here go your $30 back. You pay people back by making that shit work, bro.
Right, bro.
By making them feel like, hey, man, I didn't waste my money fucking around on you.
Right.
There are 15 major religions in the world before Christianity that have taught the same thing. It is a very ancient, old story. That's why the Bible is called the greatest story ever told. Astrotheology is the basis for all religion in the world, period. Theology is the worship of a religion, and astro, the worship of the heavens. From as far back in history as we can go, man has always worshipped the heavens. That's why we're even told in Western civilization that when you die, you'll go to heaven. The whole concept of the sun, S-O-N, God's Son, goes directly back to the old concept of God's Son, S-U-N, being the risen Savior, because the sun is the risen Savior. It does rise. And of course, God's Son, S-U-N, the Egyptians said had an evil brother. He was the Prince of Darkness. And he came out at night to rule the world. When God's Son died and went away, the world was in the hands of the Prince of Darkness. And his name was Set. And he came out at sunset. The Egyptians said that that newborn son that came up every morning, his name was Horus.
Everybody's always asking, how does it all work? This is the best explanation for how an electrical earth works. Pay attention.
Our harmonic earth, explained. Episode 11, The Electrical Earth. Now, we must understand that the earth is not a dead rock hurling through space at unimaginable speeds. Instead, it is a living, breathing electrical machine, and the single source of a self-perpetuating power generator. The sun pumps 1.8 billion amps of current into the ionosphere, the upper layer of our atmosphere. This creates a voltage of 240,000 to 500,000 volts between the ionosphere and the ground. The atmosphere acts as a giant capacitor, storing this electrical energy. But the real power comes from the oceans. As tides move seawater through Earth's magnetic field, they generate electricity, just as a wire moving through a magnetic field generates current. Every kilometer of coastline produces about 25,000 amps. Multiply it by the 1.16 million kilometers of global coastline, and you get a theoretical maximum of 29 billion amps. The reason the 29 billion amps from the ocean doesn't create a trillion-volt atmosphere is because the ocean is grounded to the lithosphere, the crust of the Earth. Unlike the clouds, which lift charge high into the sky to create a potential difference, the ocean currents are already at the bottom of the circuit. They are moving the ground rather than charging the top plate of the capacitor. During a severe geomagnetic storm, the power being dumped into the polar ionosphere can exceed 1,000 gigawatts. This electricity flows through the ground itself, following natural conductors, mineral veins, aquifers, fault lines. Ancient peoples knew these as ley lines, and they built their sacred sites at the intersections where the current is strongest. These intersections are spaced about 72 harmonic length units apart, another harmonic of the 72-year cycle. The current returns to the sun through the auroras, those beautiful light shows at the poles. The map here is to show exactly where the door is hidden in the middle of this day-to-day life we live. Think with me.
Why is the main character's name Truman? It's not just any name chosen at random. If you separate the words, we have true and man. The movie is not about a guy trapped in a funny reality show. It's about the exact moment when the human soul decides that the comfortable lie is no longer enough. That awakening we saw on screen in '98 is what is knocking on our door now, with a date set for 2026. We live in a system of automatic repetitions. Truman drank the same coffee, talked to the same neighbors, and smiled at the same hidden cameras. He was almost a robot. But then, out of nowhere, an object falls from the sky. The script fails. And it's in that error, in that crack in the system, that his consciousness begins to sprout. It's a pattern that repeats outside the screens. You know when you realize that the news, social media, and even global crises seem to follow an overly rehearsed script? Yeah. In 2026, astrology points to heavy changes. Pluto settles into Aquarius. That messes with technology and the freedom of the masses in a way we've never seen. For many people, that's just a technical detail or astrologer talk. I prefer to see it as the real breaking point. It's the year when the true man inside each person gets tired of being an extra in their own life.
Wake up early, bitch, I gotta get some move. In my pockets, I got cheese, I got dough. I got product moving, ship it for the